your EXP, hold on to your gold for last.
Interesting.
Double fighter, maybe? Because they can technically play Ruby into Aerith here.
I would not like double fighter here. When you have an alpha in the jungle, you are locking yourself into early game. Once you get the mid game, the opponent has like 3 items, the game is just over for you. I don't like it.
Maybe just win harder, I guess. I mean, to be fair, they have the Jushin, and I think Jushin is what really brings this composition together. Jushin being the main crux of it, Matilda as the butter in between the bread, and the raw pieces of bread being Alpha to Rizla. And I would only assume Ruby at this point, but it looks like JP beat me to it.
I actually love JP's draft. Edith, Aurora, Ruby, that is so much teamfight crowd control that Envy will have to deal with. If they're looking for a gold lane, the Lunox is still open. Classic counter to Harif, Brilliance to escape from Hayabusa.
I'm thinking whether or not they're going to go into Natan here.
Another gold medal in my pocket.
Ooh, Moskov.
Really?
All right. I'm fine with this. We saw a good game from Ruff the last time on this Moskov. The global presence doesn't really matter too much or only during neutral objective fights, but the Spear of Despair in particular is going to make Edith's life difficult to look for a clean onward. Same goes for Hayabusa if he tries to quad shadow.
That is fair. Both team lineups looking to be a little bit more balanced here, but we saw very, very clean gameplay from the Niners. Was it thanks to the Angela Ling, or is there something better at play?
I feel that right now, JP, they're going back to their comfort roots, right? They're going to play around Lolios for a majority of that game and play as a mid-trio. I think that Ye3 is going to be left on an island for God knows how long, but for MV, they can contest for this. I think as soon as Litho Wanderer is done and we see level 4s come through, MV need to start fighting early.
Yeah, invading is possible as well. We could even see the Matilda go in level 1 to disrupt the opponent, but that will only be observed once we jump into the land of dodge. This is going to be game number 2 between Monster Vicious and JP Niners. The latter currently 1 game up. Can they get the clean sweep?
Well, let's find out here with JP on the blue side, taking his orange buff from Max, and Uni on his purple buff on the red side here. They're going to end up on the same spot, into the gold lane here where all their priority is going to be. But we do see that Uni, he's going to immediately not even bother contesting for Litho Wanderer. He's just looking for level 4.
Yeah, if we can get level 4 first, we know Alpha can fight really, really well. And Hayabusa doesn't quite match up in damage until he has that first item.
Thoughts on Uni's emblems? He's going Impure Rage Fighter Emblem Alpha. So very pokey though.
It's very pokey, but also quite good for extended fights because Impure Rage allows you to top up your mana and then some of your HP.
Yeah, but it's not like Alpha has like a big mana problem though. That's not like his that's not like, when I think Alpha, his main problem is that he's all in, can't get out. Not he doesn't have mana, he can't even go in.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. It means that MV are intending to go for more pokey playstyle.
That's what I would imagine here. I think it's basically still centered around the Martisi strategy of playing the Jushin. Jushin repositions, Uni just pokes him, then they just wait for that to happen again, and then eventually the all-in if they're low.
That makes sense on paper, though I feel like MV don't necessarily have to go in that way. They do actually have a pretty strong early game comp and can dive the members of the Niners. For now though, a little bit more focus towards the EXP lane. Turtle will be up in a little bit.
I think the better question right now is how does Uni even enter the fight, right? Because Rossi is going to be on Ruby Roam, and not to mention that Zach QT generally is going to be very aware if Uni tries to go for an all-in. He's going to get frozen up pretty quick.
It's probably because of this that he goes in Pure Rage, right? Maybe he wants to play more on the outskirts of the fight first and then look for an opportunity to actually Spear of Alpha in. Question mark? I guess we'll see. Rasi not level 4 yet though, but Ye3 flickers forward onwards, catches out Uni. Xeno with penalty zone, catches out Max at the same time. This is gonna be a 50-50. Ye3 gets the first blood onto Uni, and Martisi secures the turtle.
Oh, it's so sad. Uni just dies before this turtle is within retry range. Big Sages here, but it did cost them 3 flickers. Xeno traded his own flicker trying to zone off Max. It was a good idea, but now we're seeing the top side getting dove.
Lolil holding onto his Purify for as long as possible, still has to use it in the end, but will escape alive.
It was a good choice by Lolios. Had he not used that Purify, he was about to get lifted and yeeted back into MV.
Yeah, you do not want to lose Lolil at this stage. MV were still able to get the turtle earlier, but losing Uni means that Alpha loses a little bit of relevance.
Loses, well, I mean, for now, Uni generally is looking for level 12 before he's like proactively pushing people back into their own jungle. That's when his ult becomes really, really short. 63 seconds until we see the next turtle actually spawn here. We go back into the stalemate form.
It's gonna be a bit more passive for now. I think that's fine for both of these teams. They don't need to force fights too often, but they both do have heroes that want to get a little bit of snowball under their belt at least, in the Alpha and the Hayabusa. So it's up to them to decide whether that focus goes towards the gold or the EXP side of the map.
I think it's got to be gold side, right? I mean, rough is their main win condition. Zeno, he's just going to be a scaling tank at this point that can wave clear effectively. Oh, Rossi though.
Rossi could be in some trouble. Circling Eagle already comes out, knocks up the Ruby, but Niners are safely behind their own lines, so they're fine.
Yeah, but this means that they're going to cut off like reinforcement paths. We've seen MV do this time and time again. Hopefully JP,
Misery pins Lolil to the wall. Uni is here. Spear of Alpha misses though. Zaman Force has already been used, so Guiding Winds pulls Uni out. They can no longer commit.
Nicely played by Loliels. He played that really, really well, making sure he dodged absolutely everything here. Now Max has an opportunity to actually steal away this Lord because they're expecting the next fight to actually, sorry, not the Lord, the Turtle, for this pit.
Up this turtle going to be important. I think Monster Vicious have a slight bit more control since they already pressured the top lane a little bit, but Niners are already back in place. Max jumping in, poking out Martizi, trying to look for where Uni is.
They don't know which side of the map Uni started, so now that he shows back up, at least they might have a rough idea. This is going to be a tough contention point.
Yeah, we can see both junglers are here, both gold laners up in the top lane. I don't think we're gonna see a full commit just yet. They're both looking for more of a pick-off to maybe start off the fight.
Yeah, we did see Max clear up that bottom side. Same goes for Rudy, but he does get the Sky Piercer. Oh!
The Flicker penalty zone catches Rossi. Flicker backwards from the Ruby being used. Max jumps back in onto Martizi, uses the ult from Zeusin, the Earth Shatter, flickers forward, catches out Uni. Frigid Glacier gonna be used right in the center, but Max still gets the turtle anyway. And Uni at the same time with the Yogi Shadow kill, double kill for the Hayabusa.
Nicely played by Rossi, honestly. Like, Rossi could have yoinked Zeno in, but decided to hold on to his ult and lose his flicker, walks back up, and plays around Zach QT's stun. Just incredible stuff from JP.
Yeah, not a big fan of the initiation from MV there, actually. Zeno jumped in very aggressively with the penalty zone, but there wasn't a clear line to connect the rest of his team to him. Ruff now in some trouble. Zaman Force already used by Lolil forces him to dash away, and this is a free tier 1 up top.
Yep, and Loliels doesn't mind using the Zaman Force to speed the process up. He wants to get this lane swap done and dusted, ideally now rather than later, because even Zeno on the opposite side, sorry, Ye3 on the opposite side of the map was able to clear up so they can make a clean transition, zero gold and EXP loss.
6 minutes in, 3 kills to 0. Already a 3k gold lead for the Niners. They are showing that their gameplay from game 1 is consistent. They have a plan. They know exactly how they want to execute on it.
Yeah, and right now, Max, he's legitimately dangerous, right? With that double kill and now a level lead against Uni, he's got a Hunter Strike and a Sky Piercer with currently 2 stacks underneath its belt. People like Martizi needs to be careful. Even Ruff can't leave Nova X-Kobar side.
Yeah, Monster Vicious going to be forced to play quite closely together, which is pretty bad when they already are in a tough spot. Circling Eagle, knocks up Rossi. Monster Vicious not really ready to follow up, and here comes the Yogi Shadow kill. Killing spree already. Martizi is just gone. Penalty zone only catches 1, and Azino gets pulled back into the Niners. The rest of Monster Vicious nowhere close to save him.
Disgustingly good from Rossi here. Really good reaction time to punish Zeno, but it looks like Monster Vicious, they don't know how to handle this. The micro mechanics coming out from JP seems to be honestly better than Monster Vicious. Their executions have been a lot cleaner. Their timings have been a lot better. Monster Vicious, I don't want to say that they're getting outclassed because right now they're getting stat checked, but the decisions that are being made.
Yeah, I am loving the eye for opportunity that the Niners have. Martizi drops to like half HP. Max is just instantly go, go. This is the time. And they're saving resources too to continue to split apart Monster Vicious because they're just not strong enough when they're by themselves.
Now, they gathered here together. Last turtle. Could go to anybody's side, but I need to see Zeno target specifically Max. Like, he's been jumping into a lot of these fights, catching weird targets, but he needs to specifically get on top of Max with that penalty zone.
And even if you do penalty zone Max, if he has quad shadow set up, he escapes really, really easily. That's the problem I have with Terizla nowadays. It doesn't offer enough teamfight initiation unless you have another form of AoE CC to work with.
But that's the thing, you guarantee it, right? Oh no.
No, might be way too far. He actually jumps forward. Max already gets the Lord though. Spear of Destruction lands. So Yetri gonna blink out. In the meantime, Zach QD already finishing off Zeno, as well as the Ogre Shadow kill, getting the killing spree. So Yetri going to be sacrificed in exchange. Monster Fish is actually in position to follow up on this, and they even get a bonus, a kill on Lalil.
Ooh, 2 for 2. A 2 for 2, but the Lord is still in the hands of the JP Niners. Ruff should be able to manage this with no problems, but as soon as Max gets that Oki Shadow kill, expect him to make something happen across the map. Now, I will have to say that at least for Zach QT, he's playing absolutely fine. Loliels is the one getting a little hyper-aggressive. He needs to respect Martizi's space.
Yeah, on a Harif, you do need to get quite close up and personal, but that's exactly what they want from you. So positioning is important. That was actually a situation where Zeno should have been picked off early on, but the re-initiation actually worked out for them.
Honestly, it was pretty good, right? Because again, it was like, I can understand why Zeno was trying to force that play, because Loliels for the first time overextended, and he literally just dashed. If you get a Purify out of him, if you get the Hazaman Force out of him, you should be able to tank until the rest of your team is there to save you. Worst comes to worst, Nova X Kobar Guiding wins you out of there.
Yeah, a lapse in judgment, I think, because Niners thought they could take out Zeno quick and easily before the rest of his team could catch up, but that meant that they grouped up a little bit right in front of the Lord Pit and allowed the penalty zone to catch more than expected.
I mean, it's the body of the Smith diff, right? Radiant armor purchase coming in from Zeno. He's worried about Zach QT, yeah, 3, and as well as Loliels. It affects 3 out of the 5 members. Okay, decent purchase, but I would imagine that some anti-heal is necessary.
Circling Eagle comes in, pulls in Uni, and catches out Rasi, but there's so much damage being done already as Nova Kobar just instantly melts, and Zeno's caught by the onward. He's going to be focused on by Loliel. Spear of Alpha comes out once again, this time onto Yetri, and Spear of Destruction finishes him off, and the Spear of Alpha comes out a third time onto Rasi. Max gonna get the monster kill though, double kill! But he's going in! He's going for all of them! Triple kill on the Hayabusa! Maniac for Max!
He makes it look so easy. So easy. I don't know. He makes it look effortless. High fives all around the tables of JP Niners right now. But holy, that entire fight, Max is just chilling in the back. He's just waiting for things to happen. Uni decides to Spear of Alpha Rasi instead of Loliels. He pushes Rasi out of the way, moves back, survives the fight. Because he's already level 13, he's got like what, a 11, arguably even an 8-second cooldown, depending on whether he has his third item or not, to jump back into these fights. And yes, it's great, but at the same time, Ruff uses his Spear of Destruction to get back in the fight and ends up dying to Max anyways.
This is a 901 Hayabusa with 80 Sky Piercer stacks. He is taking people down left and right. Envy need to find him, but they're not quite able to do so because of the spacing. Again, this Edith, Ruby, Aurora gives them so much control.
It's difficult, but I think that Monster Vicious are getting a little desperate here. Level 15 to level 14, Uni is going to take up as much EXP as he can before he shows himself. I think there is an argument for him, to head down to the bottom side, but Lolios finally purchases that third item after so long.
Holy Crystal is a huge boost to Ahara's damage. As long as Lalil isn't picked off, Monster Vicious have another person to be worried about.
Now, it's going to be the Lord Dance here. No priority. I think at this point, Ruff probably should head over to the top side, but I think that Monster Vicious don't know where Max is. He's going to show up here, and that's when you see Ruff move up to the top.
The Lord going to half HP now. Lalil working on it. Conceal play. Forcing MV back. Niners just using it as a scare tactic, but also allowing Rasi to walk into the tri-bush to get some scouting in. Monster Vicious is gonna look to try and engage. Lalil actually catches out Martizi, uses Zaman Force, but he's been pulled in, has to use the Purify for the penalty zone. Frigid Glacier, Zeno flickers out of it, but he's still caught. He's gonna be taken out. Legendary streak going over the Max, and Monster Vicious knows they can no longer fight.
The heck was that? NovaX Kobar at any time could have communicated, I got guiding wings, you can go in now. But what? What? Did they not pull him out of position there? Were they going to fight? Were they not going to fight? Like what?
There's definitely some desperation coming in from MVE. They want to make something happen. They want to get a pick off, but it's not quite enough. Too much control on the NINERS. Spear of Alpha engages a beautiful Earth Shatter to respawn. But yeah, Tree going to pay for his own life as a result. Rasi going to be sacrificed at the same time. Max does secure the Lord, but now he is... Oh! Spear of Alpha catches him. Spear of Misery doesn't connect with the wall though. So Max keeps his streak alive.
Oh my goodness, that was already on the very edge as well. The Spear of Alpha did catch him, but he was already mid-animation, so he only got like stunned at the end of it, getting slightly displaced. Luckily, he saves his stacks though.
Yeah, he needs to save those stacks. Max offers so much damage to his team right now, especially since Lalil has to delay his entry. Monster Vicious finds a little bit more breathing room, should be able to deal with this Lord. Raku actually flickers forward with the ult, catches out Uni, but Uni comes back in with the Spear of Alpha, finishes off his passive. Ogi Shadow Kill gonna be used by Max on very low HP, but he still gets the legendary kill, double kill on a Hayabusa. Spear of Destruction does not connect with the right target, so Ruff has to be pulled back to safety.
Max is nasty with it. 1 HP in the backline, already used his quad shadow, had to OK shadow kill the backline, and then quickly switches on over to his second shadow to take out Zeno and get a little bit of life back. Like, what can you really say? Max is having a perfect game.
Up 12-0. Zaman forced to take out the mid inhibitor. Nova trying to buy some space, but the I'm Offended finds Ruff in the back line. They're under the crystal with only 2 minions alive, but that is more than enough for the JP NINERS.